The stars were quiet that night. Too quiet. Commander Arik stood on the bridge of his ship, ironclad, staring at the endless black around him. The scanners showed nothing but drifting metal, broken ships, shattered stations, silent ruins. Once this place was called New Terra. Now it was just dust and memories. The crew said nothing. Everyone knew what had happened. The alien empire of Zelthar had come with their shining ships and proud words. They said humanity would kneel, but the Deathworlders never kneel. Arik walked forward, his eyes cold and focused. The communication officer whispered, "Sir, there are no survivors." He closed his eyes for a moment, then gave a single order. "Record this, and send it to Fleet Command." The message was short. They burned New Terra. Humanity must answer. Far away, deep in the shadows of the galaxy, the Deathworlder fleet received the call. Massive engines roared to life. Ships that had slept for years now awakened. One by one, their lights cut through the darkness like fire in the void. The silence of space broke with a voice from the command channel. Arik's voice. "This time, no mercy. This time, we fight." As the fleet began to move, the stars seemed to tremble. In the distance, alien patrols picked up strange signals, whispers in the dark. They didn't know it yet, but the storm was coming. The Deathworlders were awake, and their silence was about to end. The Deathworlder fleet moved through the dark like ghosts. Dozens of warships glided in silence, their hulls blackened from past battles. Every ship carried a memory, a name of a fallen colony, a city lost to alien pride. Commander Arik sat in the War Council chamber aboard Ironclad. Around him, holograms of other captains flickered, faces hardened by war and grief. No one smiled. They didn't need words to understand why they were here. Captain Vale broke the silence first. "The Zelthar Empire calls us savages," he said coldly. "They forget. We come from the most dangerous world in the galaxy. We survived death long before we met them." A quiet murmur spread through the council. Arik looked up at the stars through the observation window. "They think we are weak because we seek peace," he said. "But peace is a choice, and now we choose war." Outside, engines flared to life. The fleet began its long jump through hyperspace, trails of blue light stretching behind them. Inside every ship, soldiers prepared in silence. Photos of loved ones were pinned near control panels. Weapons were armed. Hearts turned to steel. As they neared alien space, warning lights flashed across the bridge. Unknown signals ahead. Enemy patrols. Arik's voice echoed through the comms. "Maintain radio silence. We strike first and vanish." The fleet slowed, disappearing into the darkness. Moments later, space erupted with fire. The first Deathworlder attack had begun. And somewhere, deep inside alien territory, the echoes of the fallen whispered one word: revenge. The alien convoy drifted across Sector 9, unaware of what waited in the shadows. Dozens of Zelthar cargo ships carried weapons, fuel, and soldiers, completely unguarded except for a few escorts. In the distance, hidden behind an asteroid belt, the Deathworlder fleet waited. Commander Arik stood on the bridge, his eyes locked on the holographic display. "Targets confirmed," the officer said quietly. Arik nodded once. "No warnings. No mercy." A moment later, space exploded with light. Torpedoes cut through the black like falling stars. The first alien ship burst into flames, its crew screaming through static before their signal died. Panic spread through the convoy, confused voices shouting, orders colliding, fear taking over. From the shadows, the Deathworlders moved like hunters. Their ships fired with cold precision, striking one target after another. The aliens tried to fight back, but their weapons missed. Humans were faster, unpredictable. On board Ironclad, Captain Vale smiled grimly. "They wanted to see the monsters from Deathworld," he said. "Now they'll remember." Within minutes, the entire convoy was destroyed. Debris floated across the void. Glowing faintly in the light of a distant sun, the Deathworlder ships powered down their weapons, vanishing again into deep space before reinforcements could arrive. Arik looked at the wreckage on the screen. "This is just the beginning," he said softly. "They took our worlds. Now we take theirs." Far away, the Zelthar High Command received the report. Their fleets were mobilized. Their pride was wounded. For the first time, they felt fear, and in the silence that followed, The galaxy understood. Humanity had returned to war. In the golden towers of Zelthar Prime, the alien emperor sat on his crystal throne, his eyes glowing with rage. Reports of the destroyed convoy filled the chamber. One after another, officers bowed low, trembling under his furious stare. Humans, the emperor hissed. Those Deathworld creatures dare to strike us? His voice echoed through the hall. They are nothing but savages, beasts who crawl in the dirt. They will learn what true power is. Behind him, massive holograms showed burning Zelthar ships. For the first time in centuries, the Empire had been wounded. Their pride was cracking, and that made them dangerous. General Threx stepped forward. My Emperor, we are preparing the Starforger. One blast can erase their homeworld. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. Then do it. Burn their Earth to ashes. End this infestation forever. Meanwhile, far from the golden halls, Auric's fleet intercepted the same transmission. The crew fell silent as the message played. The aliens planned to destroy humanity's home. Captain Vale clenched his fists. They want to end our world. Auric's reply was calm, but his eyes were cold. Then we end their empire first. The War Council met again. Maps glowed across the command table. Two plans, one impossible choice: save Earth, or destroy the Starforger before it fires. The room went quiet. Auric looked at his captains. We split the fleet. Half defend Earth, half strike their weapon. Engines thundered as the Deathworlders divided. Their fate now hung between two stars, and somewhere in the darkness, the Starforger awakened, its core glowing like the heart of a dying. Sundot, the countdown to annihilation had begun. Stars burned red as the Deathworlder fleet entered the Zelthar War. Soon, hundreds of alien ships filled the void, their silver hulls reflecting the light of a dying sun. At the center of it all floated the Starforger, a massive sphere of fire and metal, the weapon that could destroy a planet. Commander Auric stood on the bridge of Ironclad. All ships hold formation, he ordered. We strike when they open fire. The tension was thick. Every heartbeat felt like thunder. The crew whispered silent prayers, to survive, to win, to make humanity proud. Suddenly, alarms screamed. The Starforger began to charge. A glowing beam formed at its core, aimed straight toward Earth. Now, Auric shouted. The Deathworlders attacked. Missiles and plasma bolts streaked through the darkness, colliding with alien shields. The battle became chaos. Ships exploding, metal twisting, fire consuming everything. Onboard Vanguard, Captain Vale led the front line. Push forward, he yelled. Fire and steel. No retreat. Human ships rammed alien cruisers, tearing through their formations. Every explosion echoed like a heartbeat of vengeance. The aliens fought back fiercely, their pride refusing to bend. But the humans were relentless, turning wreckage into weapons, using their own damaged ships as shields. Then through the smoke, Auric saw an opening in the Starforger's defenses. He knew what had to be done. He looked at his crew and smiled sadly. Prepare for final run, he said. Today, we finish this. Ironclad turned toward the glowing weapon, engines burning bright. Behind them, the fleet covered their path with fire. The final battle had begun, and there was no turning back. The Ironclad raced toward the blazing. Starforger flames lit the hull as enemy fire rained from every direction. The ship shook violently. Alarms screamed, but Auric stood tall, calm amid the storm. He looked out at the stars, the same stars humanity once gazed upon in peace. Now, they burned with war. Status report, he shouted. Engines critical, shields failing, replied the officer. Auric nodded. Good, then we're close enough. On the command screen, the Starforger's core pulsed brighter, ready to fire. If it unleashed its energy, Earth would vanish in seconds. Captain Vale's voice crackled through the comms. Auric, pull back! You can't make it. Auric smiled faintly. Someone has to finish this, tell them. Humanity stands, the crew understood. No one ran. No one hesitated. Together they guided Ironclad straight into the weapon's core. The collision lit the sky like a newborn star. The Starforger cracked apart, its massive energy collapsing in on itself. A wave of light swept across the battlefield, consuming alien ships, tearing through their fleet. When the light faded, silence returned to space. No Zelther ships remained. Their pride, their empire, had fallen. Hours later, across human colonies, the message spread: the Deathworlders have won. On Earth, the people looked up at the night sky, tears shining in their eyes. The war was over. Humanity had survived. Far beyond, in the ruins of the battlefield, a single signal blinked weakly. It was Auric's final message. They called us Deathworlders. They were right. The stars were silent again, but this time they belonged to humanity.